Was the scene in the Arden area today after yesterday's storm. Crews in Sacramento have been working to clear down trees, branches, and power lines for most of the day. And as you can see, some fallen trees left damage to cars and buildings as well. And because of this damage, tens of thousands of people in Sacramento County, they lost power because of the storm of the weekend. Also without power, the Sacramento County Fire Dispatch Center.
And that's a bigger issue. For obvious reasons, that backup generator there went down during a surge after the center had already lost their primary power as well. 911 calls were still able to be routed in. However, computers were down for at least a couple of hours on Sunday night. Fox 40's Doug Johnson live for us tonight at that communication center in Rancho Cordova. Doug.
Yeah, Eric, they were able to get the emergency crews where they needed to go by using older technologies. There was a slight delay, but this is a system they're still training on even today.
Fire dispatch, what is the address of the emergency?
At about 6:30 Sunday night, power went out here at the Sacramento Regional Fire EMS Communications Center, but they had a backup generator.
However, at about 8 o'clock, there was another power surge or something that caused that system to also lose power.
But Metro Fire Captain Chris Vestal says, fortunately, they've trained for this exact situation.
At that point, we went into our tertiary system of manual dispatching and manually call taking and dispatching units.
That means extra people were called in to track the different battalions using whiteboards and radios.
So somebody in this room was listening on radio to somebody in that room over there. So when they would dispatch, let's say, Engine 24 and Medic 25 to a call, they would come over here, they'd make a mark, Engine 24 and Engine 25 were on a call.
The power was out for several hours, but within minutes, Vestal says the old school system was up and running, and with only a slight delay in response times. Vestal says in Sacramento County, those calling 911 always first go through a law enforcement dispatch center before being transferred here.
So when the power went out, all that did was cut our computer terminals and our telephone systems. What it didn't do was eliminate our ability to use cell phones. So a lot of the communication between the primary answering points, the law enforcement agencies, and this secondary point was done by cellular communication.
If anything changes or gets worse, call us right back on 911, but we're on our way.
Vestal says during the outage, none of the calls were lost, and all of them had emergency crews responding.
We practiced for this. We practiced for a complete failure of the radio system and the telecommunications system, and we got to put that to work last night, and we got to see that all of our practice, all of our training actually paid off, and we were still able to serve the community.
Now, what caused that backup generator to go down is still being investigated, but a lot of the dispatchers here say they're ready just in case it ever goes down again with these new storms coming in. Reporting live in Rancho Cordova tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
Doug, thank you. A U.S. Marshal dragged